Gcse biology prediction foundation paper, and then go through the topics that can come up after looking at analysis. So the first topic we're looking at that can come up is animal, plant or bacteria cell, and you'll notice I have posted a video on animal and plant cell comparison, so you might want to go and watch that as well. It could be the structure and function of animal plant cell or labeling the plant cell. The other one we're looking at is cell structure and function. How do they work generally, and also linking cell into microscopes. So again, I put a video on microscope, and it could be how to set up a microscope, how to do a slide, or how to do a calculation. Now, most importantly, there's a practical on microscope that hasn't been in the exam last year or the year before. So that's something you might want to go and look at. And the next thing we're looking at is stem cells. So stem cell, again, is really popular topic that can be looking at embryonic stem cells, or we're looking at adult stem cells. So what is the difference between these and how they function? Which one's better? What's the limitation? Any of that can come up. So stem cells hasn't come up in the exam in 2023 or 2024. So it's more likely that might come up this year. Another big topic is diffusion and active transport. This topic did not come up last year, but there was a big question on osmosis last year. So these can come up. So keep an eye on these two topics just in case they come up, as they haven't been before. The next one I'm going to look at is enzymes. Now, it could be what affects enzymes, what affects their functionality. More importantly, what didn't come up last year was the required practical for enzymes. And you will remember the required practical enzyme is the amylase practical, where you test for it and you look for starches cause blue back, and if you're testing for amylase and then it stays brown. To remember the required practical, that, like I said, hasn't been. Then we're looking at the blood vessels. So when you're looking at blood vessels, make sure you look at the capillary. You're looking at arteries and veins, the function, how they're different from one to the other, and also the double circulatory system. So how does the heart pump the blood around the body? Well, it's a double circulatory system. They can give you different parts of the body to label, just some like they give you the words and you put them around the diagram. Next one we're looking at communicable and non-communicable diseases. Is you want to look at viruses, bacteria, the examples, how they affect the symptoms, protease, malaria. So these are the kind of things they can ask you questions about, what causes them, fill in the gaps, and you might have to just do which diseases linked to any of these. And in terms of non-communicable diseases, they tend to give you lots of graphs and data to do analysis, so you might want to look at that. Another one is vaccination, linked to the same topic. In terms of vaccination, they can ask you how does it work, how does vaccination provide you protection, in addition to your white blood cell and the immune system. So be prepared to answer that as well. Then you got the plant diseases. So recognize the symptoms. If you're lacking any minerals, what color does it go? What happens to them? The big two massive ones, really big one is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis comes up every single year in the exam, so definitely go and look at that. Look at the equation for photosynthesis. Look at the limiting factors. For photosynthesis, you remember you did a required practical that did not come up last year, so again, have a look at that. That was the one that you counted the bubbles when you moved the lamp from the pond reed. A massive one that to remember. And another big one that hasn't come up in the exam last year is respiration. So opposite equation to photosynthesis and respiration. Look at aerobic, anaerobic respiration, factors affecting respiration, general exercise, and so